I'm muted. Okay, I'll start this over. Thanks y'all for letting me know I had no sound. I'm muted. So anyway, I wanted to talk about the Daniel Jones situation to start, and it's been a crazy situation because some people say he wants over 40. Some people say he wants 45 as like his basement. Some people are saying that there's no credence to anything that anybody's saying because there's literally there's been no negotiation. And while there probably hasn't been formal negotiation, Mike Florio made a pretty good point a couple of days ago on I think it was one of the Giants podcasts, the official one of the official Giants podcasts, and he said like, look, yes, there has been no negotiation, but do you really think that Daniel Jones and his agent aren't talking about what they're going to go in at? Like that had to play a part at what what they what kind of deal he thought he was going to go get. It had to play a part. Some people are saying that CAA is just leaking what Daniel Jones has been trying to say or what he's been trying to get. Some people are saying that he's not. They're leaking imaginary information, and it's just a complete just we don't know what's going on with the Daniel Jones situation. And I think we have to prepare for Daniel Jones to be back. And I also think we have to prepare for Daniel Jones to not be back. So I talked a little bit about some possible quarterbacks that we could go after last week. Some people like Hendon Hooker, some people like Anthony Richardson. Some people want us to go out and get Justin Fields. Um, there's a ton of options, and when you look at those other options, I would definitely say that those players are a lot cheaper. They're a lot cheaper, and you might be able to get similar production. But the same thing with Saquon is like from a fan's perspective, I want Saquon back. I want Daniel Jones back. From a team building perspective, like what I'm thinking, like putting my brains together and me thinking about what I want to do as a as a someone who will be building a team, it would definitely be to have both of these guys walk and replace them with a lot cheaper options that could give probably similar production. Saquon, you probably have to have a couple of guys that replace that. DJ, you could probably get similar production with a rookie or with anybody. Just because you got to think, even if DJ were to take a next step next year, what we got last year, 15 touchdowns, 22 total touchdowns, about 4,000 yards. You probably think a rookie can get you probably 18 touchdowns and 3,400 yards and maybe 500 rushing, depending on who you draft. So those are things you have to think about. As far as who I want back, do I want DJ back? That's what Zaf is asking. I do want him back. I do want him back, but I want it to be at a good number, and I want it to be on a multi-year deal where you can move that money around. But I don't want it. I do not want it to be a situation where he's showering in money because we decided to to throw 45 plus at him, because I just don't think it's worth that. I just don't think this having him back again is worth more than 45 million or even 45 million or even 42 million. Only next step DJ is taking it out is out of the door. Yeah, I mean, listen, to me it's really, I would say at the end of the season I probably was feeling like 95% chance that DJ was coming back. At the end of the season, in the playoff game, I was 150% chance that he was coming back. But it's not like you can really judge him for that Eagles game. But it's just like just feeling the perspective, and like once you sit with a decision that you're thinking about making for days and then weeks and then months, you might start to question that initial decision. You're saying no sound again? Can anybody else not hear me? I see feedbacks coming in on my mic. I see feedbacks coming in on my mic. You guys let me know. Everything over here is saying I have sound. Okay. Anyway, what I was saying is, as you start to sit on a decision for weeks it starts to make you think more and more about things. And as I get farther away from that Vikings playoff game, it just starts to make me think like, could Justin Fields have done, with this staff, which I think is a very good staff, could Justin Fields have done what Daniel Jones did this year? You got to think he probably turns the ball over more. Uh, Maybe that translates to more losses, but maybe he makes bigger plays that cancel those things out. But you got to think that he can put up at least similar production. You got to think that an Anthony Richardson in this offense could put up at least 500-600 yards rushing. The passing may be something that could be left to be desired. He may be a couple of years away on the passing, but running the ball out of the bat, he's going to be a dynamic runner. Out of the bat, I think C.J. Stroud is going to be a really good passer, and I think I think you won't see too many seasons where C.J. Stroud doesn't throw for 24 passing touchdowns. I just don't see that. Will Levis, I'm not really a fan of, but there's a ton of options. And then Hendon Hooker, he probably wins the Heisman if he doesn't get hurt. But it just makes you think, as you start to take longer and longer, excuse me, as you start to take longer and longer to make your decision, more and more gets factored in. Yeah, and Fields probably did have worse wide receivers. Claypool is arguable, but who knows? You probably do say he has worse wide receivers and running backs. So it just makes you think. And it's not that I've made a decision. It's just I'm open to whatever decision they make because they're building this team, and whatever they decide is on them. And whatever they decide probably has a follow-up plan. Like if you're bringing back DJ, you need to be going all in my opinion. In my opinion, the two guys that you need to be going after are Jackson Smith and Jigba and Jordan Addison. And I think if you have to trade up 5 or 6 picks for them, you do it. If you got to give up that third round, that extra third round to go up and get one of those guys, you do it. I really don't think that if you make a plan, you have to go all in on it. I don't want to see them sign Daniel Jones to a 4 or 5 year deal, or I don't want to see that. And then, in the draft, we go out and draft a quarterback in the second round. That doesn't make sense to me. So if we make a decision, let's stand on that decision. Let's go all in. If Daniel Jones is coming back, let's get him the weapons. Let's fix the offensive line. Let's do it aggressively. Because if you're paying a guy $35, $40 million a year, who cares if you're rebuilding or not, or where you think you are in your rebuild? That needs to be a winning team. So you go and you get the pieces necessary for this $40 million quarterback to put up the right production. I'm not going to say numbers, but production that translates to wins. It needs to happen. And the same thing, same thing with Saquon. If you're bringing him back, it means that we're winning now. You're either bringing back Saquon for 2 reasons. The first reason would be you're still trying to win, which of course they're trying to win. And the second reason is maybe you bring back Saquon to help out a rookie quarterback. But I just don't think you pay both of these guys top of the top shelf money. I just don't think that makes any sense. So the Daniel Jones thing is really interesting. So shout out to the Hot Nickels. Definitely hit that like button. The like lets people know I'm streaming. Sometimes people will be subscribed to me. They will have their post notifications on, and they don't get any notifications when I upload or live stream. So definitely hit that like button. It helps people know that I'm streaming. What I'm going to do right quick as I start to think about transitioning topics is let me know what you think of the Daniel Jones contract situation. And as I've tried to get people to do a couple of times, let's see if I can so what I'm going to do is hit this copy. I'm going to paste this into the chat. And if anybody wants to record a video, a quick video, This link is what you click on. You point, record. It pops up on the screen, and I'll respond to it. But haven't gotten anybody to do it yet. But pretty much this whole DJ thing is, like I said, it's just one of those things where you're like, I finally just want to see a decision made. We've had to wait 4 years. Every year we go into the next season saying, but this is the season when, but this is the season when, but this is when he's going to take the next step. So, next step or not next step, now we're waiting to see, is he going to be back? If he's not back, do we trade for Lamar Jackson? Do we trade for Justin Fields? Do we sign Derek Carr, which do we sign Marcus Mariota? Do we continue with Tyrod Taylor? Do we draft a quarterback early? Do we draft a quarterback late? If we sign him, do we, go all in? I don't think we spend a bunch of money, but do we go all in this draft to get him receivers and offensive linemen? Or, do we just keep building the team slowly? So there's a ton of things that we don't know the answers to. And I think once free agency, probably about 2 or 3 days in the free agency, if hopefully he's not under the tag and we're waiting then. But hopefully, whenever this thing in free agency finishes, there will be something that shows us what's going to be happening next year, for the Giants. All right, let's see if there's anything. I think I might have missed the comment. Can't wait to see the team. Can't wait to see who's the team that will overdraft Levis. He will kill the combine, and that's about it. Yeah, Levis is not. I'm not a fan of Levis. That dude ate a whole banana with a banana peel on it, and then he puts mayonnaise in his coffee. That was enough for me. And then just as a player, I just don't like him either. So that's how I feel about Levis. Don't see any video comments coming in so far. So I'm going to move on to my next topic, which is the combine. And the combine is, I'm not going to talk too much in detail about all of these things, but these are just 5 players that I kind of just grabbed out that I wanted to see at this combine, that I wanted to see how everything looked. The first is Zay Flowers. The first definitely Zay Flowers. He's a guy that his tape is good. He gets open. People compare him to Antonio Brown, but how tall is he? I think he's listed at what, like 5'10"? Is he 5'8"? Is he 5'9"? Is he 5'10"? And then what's his weight looking like at this combine? Is he willing to? Who knows? Is he willing to share that slot? Is he willing to play outside? Do we, line him up and put him in drills where he is running outside on a regular basis, which he's kind of played all over in college. But there's a lot of questions to be answered, I think, from a physicality standpoint. Of course, he's got to run well. Of course, his 3-cone drill has got to be really good. But other than that, I mean, if he's 2 inches taller, he's probably, up there with the top of the receiver class that I have. I mean, for me, it's Jordan Addison, Jackson Smith, and Jigba. Then there's everybody else. Some people like Quentin Johnson. I'm not a fan of Quentin Johnson. I do think he has potential, but I'm not a fan of where he is right now. And I'm also not a fan of Quentin Johnson in the Giants system. So same thing with Tank Dell. And I would throw him in this. I mean, make this kind of a two for one slide. Like Tank Dell and Zay Flowers, both, they get open. I think they will be good fits in this system. But do we want to roll with, them and Wan'Dale Johnson? Not Wan'Dale Johnson, Wan'Dale Robinson. Do we want Wan'Dale Robinson, who's like 5'9", and Tank Dell, who's like 5'7" or 5'8", and do we want Wan'Dale Robinson and Zay Flowers? So I want to see where both of those guys actually, good point in bringing him up too. I want to see where both of those guys measure up at, and I also want to see what they do. Just the entire day of the combine. I also want to see if they can elevate and go up and get the ball. Saying anything after first is a steal. I think that's a good point of view. I mean, I think if the guy he might kind of be off my board, depending on what happens at the combine, just because you got to have some variety. But I do kind of believe Maximus. Yeah, you're probably making a good point. If you get him there with our pick in the second round, I think he has fallen down pretty far. I think he goes somewhere from our pick, maybe a little bit before our pick to probably mid second round. I would say. Tag Jones, draft Hooker second round, cut Barkley. We used just let Barkley walk. Draft running back in the fourth round. Let Hooker sit for a year and learn while healing an ACL. Um, I mean, not a bad plan if you want to tag Jones and then take a rookie, let him develop. Yeah, I mean, I could definitely see that. Funny you say draft a running back in the fourth round. I've got four running backs that I have on a docket to watch today. They're all 22 today, so we'll watch four running backs, and then I have DeMarvion Overshown. I got Hendon Hooker and the thumbnail, so I might throw Hendon Hooker in there too. But not a horrible plan. I wouldn't be mad at that. To be honest, I'll take Tank Dell with the 25th pick. Why not have what the Dolphins have with Tyreek, and Waddle? Um, I mean, the whole Tyreek Hill and Waddle thing, those guys are both 4.2 guys. Like, they don't run 4.2s, but those guys may be the two fastest receivers in the entire NFL. So I don't think that's really that great of a comparison because they get so much separation, whether it's on a slant route or a streak or a 9 route or whatever you want to say. They get so much separation there that it's they're different players. They're different players. Let's see what else we got. Still with like A.T. Perry. Big A.T. Perry fan. I'm a big A.T. Perry fan. All right, so my next player that I want to see at this year's combine is Emmanuel Forbes. And Emmanuel Forbes, while I'm here on there, I want to do him his justice. So let me pull up my prospect sheet where I've got Emmanuel Forbes at. Let's see. Where is it? Okay. So I got my prospect sheet here. And the notes I have on Emmanuel Forbes is he had 14 interceptions in college and 6 pick sixes in 3 years. So the dude is a ball hawk. I think he's a little grabby in man coverage. I think he will be best suited as a zone coverage corner, but he's got a bunch of tools. My biggest issue with Emmanuel Forbes is his speed. Now he has a 44-inch vertical, which you usually would think would translate to being a 4.4 guy, but he does not look fast on camera. He doesn't look fast on tape. So that's a guy I really want to look at to see if can he come out and run a 4.4 or even a low 4.5. Can he come out and look fast and play fast, turn his hips fast? If he can do that, I think Emmanuel Forbes is a first round corner. Again, this guy had 14 interceptions in college in 3 years. 14 interceptions and 6 pick sixes. So he may not be the fastest, from what I've seen on tape, but he could be a guy that goes out there and does his thing. And I got him coming up. He's my first running back I got queued up for us to look at today. But yeah, back to Forbes. I mean, you see the guy, he's got long arms, looks like a wide receiver. I think he's a converted wide receiver, might be. But that's a guy I'm going to be paying attention to at this year's combine, definitely. And then my next player, let's change my layout here. My next player is pretty sure this is A.T. Perry. A.T. Perry, who we just talked about, Maximus just brought up. He's another guy. I want to see what A.T. Perry runs at. He's been listed at 6'5", for the longest. He's been listed at 6'5" for forever at Wake Forest. And then when he came in and measured in at the, I think, East West Shrine Bowl or the Senior Bowl, I think he was at the East West Shrine Bowl. Anyway, um, he came out and he measured in at 6'3" and I think like 3/4. So he's not 6'5", which is kind of a bummer because when you look at him on tape, you're like, this dude moves quick for a big, tall, long arm wide receiver, long leg wide receiver. But he's 6'3". But 6'3" and and some change is not a short player at all. It's actually still a big body receiver. So it moves really well. Looks like he has some deep speed. And what I want to see for him and also for Emmanuel Forbes is the 10-yard split. If they're running quick 10-yard splits, I have no issues at all. That'll translate right to the NFL. Now, if his 10-yard split is short, or his long speed is short here, same thing with Forbes too. Then they kind of move down just a little bit more. And it's not like the combine speed makes all of the difference, but you do want to see a guy prove that he can run. If he's playing receiver or corner, that's just what you want to see. But A.T. Perry looks great on tape. Big body receiver, physical, and he's a route runner, and he's a soft hands catcher. Now, he does have a ton of drops. I'm pretty sure he has a high drop percentage, but fundamentally, he catches the ball with his hands, and he does a lot of great things for a big body wide receiver. So that is why am I forgetting his name? I just said his name like 17 times. A.T. Perry. That's A.T. Perry out of Wake Forest. 6'3" and 3/4 wide receiver out of Wake Forest. My next guy is JSN, Jackson Smith-Njigba. Now, I don't know if he's going to participate in the combine as far as running a 40. But one thing I do want to see is what the medical looks like. How his injury, his hamstring looks. If it is healthy enough, if he can run, that'll be great. But I just want to see what that injury looks like, and if he does run, I want to see him come out and run like a 4.48, because I think if he does that, that solves a lot of issues that some people have. Some people think that this guy is slow, which I don't agree with. I want to see what his short area drills look like, his 10-yard split, his 3-cone. I want to see what all of that looks like, and I just want to see, where his injury status is looking like. That's your biggest thing with him, because I think before this season he's looked at as a top 10 pick, and now you don't see him going until 20 something. And then finally, and I see some people are still talking about DJ in the chat. Finally, I wanted to kind of highlight Devon Witherspoon, and he's the last guy I want to see, because to me on tape, I mean, I'll take a look back at this on tape. Witherspoon, I said very fast, smooth back pedal, great transition from the back pedal to running, great makeup speed, really good at tracking the ball, able to stay on balance. I said he can overestimate his speed, which I think may be causing people to think that this guy is slow. But I think he's got all of the traits. The guy's 6'1", so pretty big for a corner, 180. So he could put on a couple of pounds, but I want to see, Witherspoon run, because I think that this guy looks like a low 4.4 guy on tape. He doesn't have any issues with speed to me. I thought he might even be a 4.3 guy, but a lot of people are coming out and questioning the speed and saying that could be something that drops him down beyond being that number 1 or number 2 corner getting picked this year. So hopefully he comes out and runs a bad 40 and runs like a 4.5, because I think on tape, this dude is fast. I think he plays fast. I think he plays explosive on tape. And I don't think that'll be an issue, but hopefully that'll fool some NFL teams to not take him, before our pick, because I'm thinking there's going to be 3 of probably like my top 7 corners on the board at least. And it might be Witherspoon. It might be a guy like Joey Porter Jr., who I think is probably a late first, early second round type of guy. I think Cam Smith is not getting talked about much at all, and I think he is really similar to the other guys that are going to be ahead of him, like Christian Gonzalez, like Devon Witherspoon, like all of these guys at the top of the draft. I think they all have similar traits. I think they all are not lacking in the physical department as far as speed and all of the athletic stuff. Vertical leap. Maximus says already talking him going in the top 10. Yeah, I think he should go top 10, but I've seen some people saying that they're concerned about his speed, which makes no sense to me because when you look at him on tape, looks pretty fast to me. Looks pretty fast to me. All right. Yeah, if this dude falls out, I'll throw a party. So what is there you go. There's a nice gift for partying, or should I say GIF for partying. But those are my 5 players that I want to see. That I want to see at this combine. I would say those are my top 5 probably. I mean, of course, offensive lineman, it means nothing. I'm sure there'll be some guys who are going to be they're going to talk about as threatening to break the record, but I don't care about that stuff. I care about these players and their medicals. Of course, there's probably some mid round guys that I want to see. Like I think Dion Henley is a guy that he's going to go high. He's going to go higher than mid rounds, but I think Henley is a guy that I want to see too. Is he come out and run a 4.4? If he does that, he probably goes from being a guy who I think we might be able to just sit and pick at 25 to a guy that teams get giddy over because he ran a high 40, a low 40, and try to go after him early. But ton of options. And then to go back through them: Weatherspoon, JSN, A.T. Perry, Emmanuel Forbes, cornerback, and then Zay Flowers, wide receiver. So that's where I'm at now. I see some stuff down in the chat about Daniel Jones. I'll throw him back up there again. But said Jamie Robinson from FSU. Wonder if he's a corner. I'm not sure about what position he plays, but I'll definitely check him out. So I'll hit some of these last Daniel Jones comments, and then I'm probably going to get into the tape. So let's look at Frankie. He says, I still do not believe in Jones and a 9-win season, regardless of supporting cast, does not make a $35 to $40 million quarterback. And I think I said this in my video. It's like if you are a salesperson and every time you're trying to make a sale, one of your coworkers comes out of nowhere, they sabotage your sale, they, spill something on the person you're trying to sell something to. They're rude in the background and they mess up your sale, and you're just working in a very toxic work environment, and you just can't get anything done and you can't sell anything. Yes, definitely. You were in a horrible environment and you deserved a better environment, but also can you then go and take your 0 sales to your general manager or district manager and say, hey, I need a promotion or I need a raise? You can't. You can't because you don't have the production. The production is a production. Yes, statistics are overrated, but also they do tell the story. And they're overrated, but overall, I think in this case, they tell the story. In this case, it shows that this team is not in the same they're not in the same sort of position as wait, I got distracted for a second. Forgot what I was saying. But essentially what I mean to say is that essentially what I mean to say, somebody's calling me. Anyway, what I mean to say is if you don't have the production on paper, it's kind of hard to get paid on paper. Because even Joe Shane mentioned this, as far as like Joe Shane mentioned that they're going to go through stats, they're going to go through things, and they're going to factor all of that into this contract. So it should be interesting. I'm thinking where Jones comes in at, if it's a multi-year deal, is just over the franchise tag. I think it's anywhere from 33 to 35. Um, I'd go as high as 38, but after that, I just say go ahead and see what you can find. If you can find something better, that's great. I mean, who turns down an extra $5, $6, $7 million a year? I wouldn't turn it down. So I would say if you can go out and find something better, great. If not, we'll revisit this deal. You know, is if the Giants offer 33 million and the what team, the Jets or the 49ers or whoever, if the Saints offer you, which they shouldn't be offering anybody anything, they got like negative cap space. But if Giants are offering 33 and the Commanders are offering 35 or 36, yes, it's an extra 3 million a year, but on the grand scale of things, you're already in Kafka's system. You're already in Dable's system. You've had the most success you've had in your career with these two coaches. Why would you leave over 2-3 million a year? I don't see that. So I think he's back. If he's not looking for 45 million and he's looking for 35 or 38, I think he's back, because I think the Giants will pay him 33 million a year or 34 million a year. It's just about 45 is probably off the table. Like the 45 is probably off the table at that point. But let's see, nothing else about Daniel Jones. So I'm just going to switch over to a blank screen, and then I'm going to pull up the first player I want to look at today on tape. I'm looking at all running backs, and then I have the Marvin Overshown here. I'm either going to look at his tape, or I'm going to go ahead and look at. Give me a second. I'm either going to look at Overshown's tape, or I'm going to look at Hendon Hooker and Jalen Hyatt's tape, which I've already looked at Hyatt a bunch, but he's a hot topic, and a couple of people might want to see him. I'll let you all vote on that once I get to that. Once I get to that last player. So right now, pulling up Tyjae Spears. Yeah, this draft is definitely crazy. I definitely agree. Let's throw this up. Okay, I got him Cincinnati, USC, UCF. Let's see what his box score was looking like against these three teams. I always try to give the guy the benefit of the doubt. If I don't see Bama or Georgia there, I just try to give him the benefit of the doubt. And let's see. So I have USC, UCF, and Cincinnati. Cincinnati had 181 yards. USC, he had 205 yards and 4 touchdowns. And then UCF, where is that? Central Florida, he had 199 yards. So, yeah, these are his three best games. I'll throw on the USC game because he had 205 yards and 4 touchdowns. So I can't ignore that. Can't ignore that one right there. So let's see. Hopefully I don't have the same issue sharing my screen as last time. It took me a couple of minutes. Let's see. Get this window. All right. Looks like we're good to go. Got him here. Okay. So Tajay Spears, running back, Tulane against. I think this is UCF. Give me a sec. I'm gonna pull up the USC game. Give me a sec. I'm gonna take this off so I can make sure I have the right game. Can you hear me now? I know my mic is working because I'm getting feedback from these memes. They're saying, "Can you hear me now?" Like I said, can you hear me now? Okay. All right. So excuse all of that commotion. I'm going to share my screen again, and we're going to jump into this Tajay Spears film, and I'm going to pull up USC where he ran for 205 yards and 5 touchdowns. So let's throw this up. Share my screen. Throw this window up. Here we go. Okay. So first play, he's a running back in the backfield. Handoff. Let's see. Nice cut. Okay. We'll see it from the back angle. I never really scout running backs too tough because I don't know. I mean, I don't watch a lot of running back film, is what I'm saying. Let's see. Looks like he just made a guy miss in the hole, which is obviously what you need to do in the NFL. Said, how much would I pay Jones at max? I said I'd go to 38. I wouldn't go over 38. Let's see. Second down. Pretty sure that was a first down run that last play. Now we're seeing him run out of the shotgun. Last play was a pistol. This looks like some kind of option. Speed option. Playing with a little bit of power there. Let's see. Did he get about as much as he could there? Let's see from this angle. 22. Speed option. I thought this would be some kind of a sweep, but it's a speed option. Okay. Doesn't look all that powerful, but he does look like he has some speed to him, a little bit of wiggle. Doesn't look like he's like a pushover, like he'll get thrown around, but he doesn't look like a powerful running back. Play action, decent blocking right there. I don't care about what happens on this play. I just want to see him block this guy again. Okay. Kind of caught him a little bit, but didn't really impact that play that much. Back in the pistol again. Moving up to the shotgun. I want to see if he can catch too. I didn't look at his stats when it came to catching. A nice little HB draw. Let's see. It looked right there. He had a hole. Let's see. Let's see. It looked like he had a hole he didn't take advantage of there. So, of course, delayed handoff. Looks like he's cutting back here. Uh, I mean, could he have gotten upfield? Could be nitpicking, but I think right here he could probably try to get upfield, but not too much. He tried to spin through that hole, so I won't fault him too much. Let's see. We got some more comments. Said this was a great game to watch. Yeah, I didn't see this game. All right, back in the shotgun. So we know he can. We know he can work out of the shotgun. We know he can work out of the pistol. This time he's blocking again. Okay. I mean, decent block. He didn't lay anybody out or anything, but you got to think he probably slowed down the pass rush a little bit. Just waited. Okay. Nothing crazy. Let's see next play. Back in the pistol. Back in the pistol. Handoff straight to him. Nice cut up the field, but nothing's really there. Let's see if he could have done anything different. Let's see what's happening here. I think the guard pulled right there. No, it was the tight end that's pulling over. They're trying to get him a gap. I can't show my mouse on this screen, so it's kind of hard to know what I'm talking about. But it looks like they want him. They want him to be able to cut back here, or be able to go through where in between where 91 and 49 is. So Yeah, there's no hole here. There's no hole here. Tried to do that cutback I just mentioned. There's no hole there. All right. Next play. This is a game where he had 205 yards, so I'm expecting him to break one. Expecting him to break one sooner or later. This dude had 4 touchdowns and 205 yards this play. That is quarterback's taking off with it. Is he gone? Is he gone? Okay. I don't care about the quarterback running. We're here for Tajay Spears. Back in the shotgun. You got to think they're going to run this again. They've been able to do that pretty much all game. Back in the shotgun. Nice back shoulder throw. A little bit too short though. But we're not here for Tulane, for the quarterback at Tulane. 3rd and 9. I haven't seen him go out for a route one time. I can't really fault him, but is that something that Tulane just doesn't do? There he is, going out for a route. There we go. Make a guy miss. Make a guy miss. Let's go. All right, Tajay, I see what you got going on. Okay. That's a nice play right there. That's a nice play. I just called it out, too. I just called that out. I said I hadn't seen him catch it. That's a little dump off, but make a guy miss. He got pretty low right there. Let's see. Tulane scored 16 in the final 4 to win it. And now he's in the backfield. Did they call that back? They say he went out at the 1. Okay. I think they called that back, that last play. So somebody said, I heard in the Twitter spaces, somebody said the other day, you can't run quarterback or wildcat runs with another running back like you can with Saquon, but it looks like he can run it pretty decent. Hopefully my computer pipes down soon. See if I can close anything out. All right. Next play, handoff, nice cutback, got upfield. Boom. Okay. I'm getting a nice look at what he is as a player. Was he projected? I think he's projected to go like 3rd round. I think that's where he's projected to go, like 3rd round, 3rd, 4th round. Nice cutback, got upfield. Man, my computer is working hard. When I first got this computer, it was all cutting edge. It was like you can never hear the fan, but I swear after like 3 months, I started hearing the fan, like on a regular basis. There he went out for another route. He's going out for basic routes. I want to see him break one because he had 205 yards. You got to think. He's got to have a couple of big runs in here. You think? Hopefully, you all can hear my computer. I mean, not hear my computer. All right. I think this was a fake handoff. Yeah, this quarterback isn't getting it done. We're not looking for him. We got to break one sooner or later, right? 205 yards. Quarterback keeps it all day. You said you think he's a good receiving back? He caught one so far. He caught a nice receiving touchdown out of the backfield, like a wheel route, kind of. All right. He got all that space over there if he's running a route this time. A lot of space. Come on, that dude got to catch that. Okay, back in the shotgun. They run a lot of shotgun and a lot of pistol. Nothing else, pretty much. Handoff. There's the gap right there. There's the gap. Whoa, okay. Okay, so yeah, like he does have the speed. He does have the speed right there. Because that gap was there and he accelerated through that gap. Like he completely accelerated. There was no hesitation. I thought he would get caught right about here. I thought he'd get caught, but he just left him. So that's the first big play. There got to be a couple more of them. I think with running backs, it's pretty easy to kind of see where they are. You don't have to watch as much film because they touch the ball. Oh, I thought he was going to catch that. But that's a nice route. Obviously, he's not a receiver, but it's a decent route for a running back. Let's see. Yeah, would have been a nice catch. I would say he's probably about as good a receiving back as Saquon is, as far as him running routes in his hands. I would say that from what I've seen so far. Let's see if he'll hand this off to him. Penalty. So I think we're getting a good idea of what kind of back he is. He seems pretty shifty, he's kind of fast, strong, but not a power back by any means. I want to see him kind of get in the open field. That was a nice design screen to that tight end, but we're not here for the tight end. Not here for you, bud. Not here for you. Okay. Back in okay, I thought he was gonna go under center right there, but back in the shotgun. Back in the shotgun. They love running this stuff with this quarterback. The quarterback should have scored there. 2nd and 5 coming up. More trickery. Hand off to Tajay Spears. Jump cut. Decent run. Boom. Maybe I'll go back and pull up some of that senior tape if I do a former vid. Not former. Why did I correct myself from the right thing? A formal vid on Tajay Spears. I'll probably pull up his Senior Bowl stuff if you're telling me that they have more stuff of him running routes. Yeah, he's not a power back at all. It's not like I expected him to. I think this is what third and 2, 3rd and 1. It's not like I expect him to like barrel over these guys like with no issue, but it's kind of like they just were able to catch him with no issue. It doesn't seem like he's a very difficult person to take down once you got a hold of him. That's all I'm saying. So this is 1st and goal. I'm guessing he scores here because how could he not? The dude had 4 touchdowns and apparently one receiving. So he's got to be the one scoring most of the touchdowns. Nice side cut. That's a beautiful run right there. That's a Saquon kind of run. Just as I said, once you get your hands on him, I wanted to see some of that contact balance, and he showed it right there. Okay, so watch 22. I think this is a sweep right here. Straight up. Boom. Jump cut. Okay. He's not going on. He's not going down from them arm tackles. You got to think it's another big run coming soon. Handoff, play action. Looks kind of lost in pass pro. Look right here. Looks kind of lost here. He doesn't know who to hit. Okay. One more splash play. One more splash play. And I'll probably get out of here and we'll move on to the next running back. Okay. Back in open field. Yeah. So not an overly powerful dude, but that'll be it for now on Tajay Spears. We were just looking at Tajay Spears. Uh, let's see. You said they compare him to Alvin Kamara. I don't. If I could find a game with him having a bunch of receiving yards, I'd like to see that. But I can't. I can't compare him to Alvin Kamara if he's running some nice routes in the Senior Bowl. I don't know if I could do that. I mean, I want to see that on tape. Uh, because Alvin Kamara is a receiver pretty much. The most catches he's had in the season is 22 and 256 for Tajay Spears. But let's move on to the next player. Let's get this out of here. Let's move on to the next player real quick. So number one was Tajay Spears. Who is number two? See if we can get him up. Okay, next up is Eric Gray. So let's pull up Eric Gray's tape. He's a guy I've heard a lot about too. Pulling him up. Let's look at his game log. Like I said, I try to give these guys the benefit of the doubt because I want games where they actually touch the ball. I want games where they actually got to get their touches and everything. So Eric Gray, 5'9", 206, played at Tennessee, played at Oklahoma. That's where he's going to get drafted out of. 1,366 yards and 11 touchdowns. Let's pull up his game log, 2022. His biggest games are West Virginia, 211, Texas Tech, 163. Let's see if I got West Virginia. Don't got that. I got him against Texas and Georgia. So he's playing against comp. So Texas, he had 59 yards. Georgia, I don't have anything. I got Georgia 2020. Okay, so we got to watch Texas, guys. We got to watch Texas because that's all I got. And he had 59 yards against Texas. So let's see if he can get those hard yards. 11 carries for 59 yards. I don't know what his longest run was, but we'll find out. Let's watch it. Let's throw this back on. First handoff before I can even get into that. That's a nice run. Only 59 yards, but that's a nice run on first down. That's exactly how I want to see you starting off the game. Looks powerful. Looks a little shifty. And that's what I mean as far as like Tajay Spears didn't seem that powerful. Watch what happens when Eric Gray hits people. They move. They move places. You got to gang tackle them. It's just a different mentality. Another handoff delayed. That's a nice run. Yeah, he's got some good contact balance. He didn't get that many yards out of that, but he's got some good balance. He's a guy that you probably he was going out for a route there. Nothing much. Another handoff. Oh, play action. Nothing there. Not really blocking. This might be a quick film session. It's only 6 minutes and 51 seconds. Anybody who's just joining, we're looking at Eric Gray. Let's see. All right. Nothing there. Speed option to Eric Gray. Going nowhere. Couldn't get to the edge there, but you can't blame them. They were ready. Looks like a tough runner. Looks like he's not going down pretty much ever by the first guy. But I mean, Texas is tough. Out of the pistol, it looked like he had the ball for a sec. Thought he would run in and score. What's that, 3rd and 2? It didn't look like he made that. Let's see. I want to see him get a little bit lower, but he kept fighting and he moved him. Got the first down. Oh, he didn't get the first down. Okay. Because they're in a different part of the field. think this is Eric Gray. He's going to take the direct snap here. Yeah, I like this dude. I like this dude. I like this dude. I like the way he runs. You got a wide open gap right there, and he finishes it physically. I like the way that this dude runs. 2nd and 2, another direct snap. Now let's see if he can. Yeah, he's just taking what's there. What are you guys thinking of Eric Gray so far? I think we got Overshown was on my list. I see him getting pushed around a little bit right there. Pretty sure Overshown is at Texas, wearing 0. Might be completely wrong. Another direct snap. He's running the offense. The quarterback must have got hurt or something. But just the same way we saw Saquon taking snap after snap, that's what Overshown. That's what Eric Gray is doing right here. That's what Eric Gray is doing here. Back getting the ball. That play looked like it would have went really well if the dude didn't run into his fullback or his tight end. Let's watch this. Boom. See if we got anything here. Nothing there. I haven't seen him get to really pass block or catch a pass yet. Another direct snap to him. Yeah, I like the way this dude runs. I think he's going to be a gem. If he goes in like the 4th, 5th round, yeah, I like the way this dude moves. I know he just looks like he'll be a good player in the NFL. He's got the power. He's got a little shiftiness. He's got the contact balance. He's got the vision. Want to go back to the 3-headed monster? I would love to do that. He's taking a direct snap again. Jump pass. He throw an interception. That is ridiculous. That is ridiculous that they got this running back taking all of these snaps and now he's throwing a jump pass. Contested jump pass. Ridiculous, man. That is ridiculous. Almost finished with this tape. And I'm not even going to pull up his 2020 tape or 2021 tape. I usually don't do that. And we got, 3 more people to watch? So I won't pull up his 2021 and 2020 tape. I would love to take a running back here, get a running back in free agency, or bring back Breida. Even if we do bring back Saquon, Eric Gray is going to be a guy that's pretty high on my list. 4th and 2. Let's see what he's got going on 4th and 2. If they're going to give it to him, is he going to pick up this first? No, they won't give it to him. Quarterback going nowhere. That's how they lost the game. Okay, so there you go with Eric Gray. So far, I like Eric Gray a little bit better than Tyjae Spears, just because of the mentality. I just like him better. I think he's got a better body type, better mentality, a little bit more powerful. But Tyjae Spears looks like he's a lot better of a home run threat. So let's see who we got up next. We got Zach Charbonnet. We got Sean Tucker. Zach Charbonnet is a guy that really gave LSU the business, I think, last year. Let's see if I can pull him up. I'll start off with Charbonnet. That dude is like I don't know what to compare him to. He's kind of like an upright, powerful runner who's got some speed. He's like an all around kind of back. I don't know how to describe the dude. We'll watch him. We'll watch him. I haven't ever seen him on all 22, but I just said that I don't like to throw up old tape, but I was just talking about what he did against my team LSU, and I think it's worth taking a look at this game. I think it's definitely worth taking a look at this game. Let's throw it up here. So out of the 2 running backs, you guys can drop in the chat. Out of the 2 running backs, we just saw Tajae Sharp and Why do I keep wanting to call this dude Overshown? Out of Tajae Sharp and Eric Gray, who did you like better? So y'all go ahead and let me know that down in the chat. Good old LSU. Zach Charbonnet running a route here. Nothing going on. Greg Dulcich. I think this fumble came back. I think that came back. All right. Zach Charbonnet. I think he'll probably get his first carry here. Hand off to Charbonnet. Nice cut to the outside. You see, it takes 7 people to get him on the ground. And I don't know where this dude will go. I'm thinking, what, 3rd round? Start off in the shotgun. Hand off. Jump cut. And again, like I said, 7 people. Almost 7 people to take this dude down. People forgetting people's numbers. They don't point out the running back. They don't point out who the player is for running back tape for some reason. All right, 24. He's in the backfield. He's going to get this pass, get this handoff. And again, he is a terror to take down. A terror to take down. Just watch when he makes contact or where he makes contact and where he goes down at. Like he's all the way upfield. And here they go with the weird formation that the Colts ran against the Patriots. And then they're just gonna keep this with I forgot what this dude's name is. But he can move a little bit. Charbonnet, play action. You got Dulcich right wide open right there. Let's get off to the next carry. All right. Looked like a play action. Got a head of steam here. Cutting to the outside, stays on balance. I mean, the dude, I would say Charbonnet, the thing that stands out for Zach Charbonnet for me is the balance. It's got to be the balance, man. Because watch here. Cuts to the outside. People are grabbing at his ankles. People are trying to tackle him. I mean, there's about 2 or 3 times where you think he's going down. Like right there, he's probably down. Right there, he's probably down. Right there, he should probably be down. And he gets about 15, 20 more yards almost. Whoa, okay. I remember that. I had to throw that away. Next play. Play action. Does he block? Didn't block. That quarterback had 2 guys open for possible touchdowns. Just panicked and just threw it up. Zach Charbonnet. See if he gets the ball again. Dumped off to him. Can he catch? Yes. Oh, got laid out. It's ridiculous. Anyway, Charbonnet explodes down the sideline. I mean, I would say that this dude is probably your guy that you want to go to for an all-around back. He's got some speed. He's got some strength. He's got some elusiveness. He can break tackles in the open field. I mean, complete back. Can catch it out of the backfield. Got to a spot, caught it, got upfield. That's what you want out of your running back in the receiving game, to be honest. If he's not Alvin Kamara or if he's not one of those guys, you probably just want him to catch the ball and get upfield. Now he's lined up as a wide receiver. I don't know what UCLA is doing there. Let's see. Another handoff. And he's going to accelerate into the end zone. So, yeah, that's all I think we need to watch for Zach Charbonnet. Pretty much, again, all around back. Accelerated right through there. And I'm not concerned about his transition to the NFL literally at all. I think he's gonna hit the ground running. I don't know if he'll be a superstar, but I know he's gonna be a guy that if you put him behind a decent line, he's going to be a guy that's going to get pretty much all the yards that are there, maybe some that aren't. So let's throw this on Hyde again. Let's move on to our next back, who is Sean Tucker, who I have not seen. I have not seen Sean Tucker. And that makes me think of that movie, Sean Tucker Must. And I'm not going to say it because I don't want to get demonetized, but Sean Tucker. I think it's not Sean Tucker. The movie is John Tucker. But I got one game for Sean Tucker. It is Clemson 2021. Let's see if I can find his whole workup. Sean Tucker. Running back Syracuse. Game logs for 2022. Sean Tucker had 1,060 yards, 11 touchdowns, 36 catches, 254 yards, and 2 receiving touchdowns. Had a 232-yard game against Wagner, who we don't know what's Wagner. I mean, what's that? But he also had 125 against Boston College, had 106 against Wake Forest, had 100 against Louisville, and Connecticut had 112. I think that's UConn. So not horrible. NC State had 98. NC State always has some decent D linemen. Pitt 19 yards though, so looks like a pretty decent player. Let's look at 2021, which I have. I have his 2021 tape for Clemson, and it looks like he ran for 157 yards. So let's see what Sean Tucker is all about. What I've heard so far is that he's a speed guy. So let's see some of that speed. Some colleges tape is some college tape is cloudier than others. So there's a handoff, making a guy miss, trips over his own feet, but show some nice vision right there. Got into the hole quick, got upfield quick, made a move. Trying to cut back probably. If he was able to cut back right there, he probably scores a touchdown. And as I said about the speed, he got upfield pretty quick right there. There we go. That's a play action right there. We don't care about that. Another shotgun. Nothing there again. First and 10 coming up. And this is Sean Tucker, like I said a couple times, out of Syracuse. Handoff again. That's not a handoff. Play action. And the quarterback went nowhere with the ball. Let's see if he gets the ball next time. 157 yards this game for him. I didn't see on how many carries, but hopefully we see some action here. There he is going out for a pass and started blocking, but it looked like he probably was going to get open on this wheel route. He's running this route right here. It looks like he's going to get open. If he doesn't start blocking the dude because his quarterback ran, he probably gets open on that wheel route, and that's probably a touchdown type of route. And again, like I said, some college tape is not all college tape is created equal. 3rd and 5, handoff to Sean Tucker. Sean Tucker makes a guy miss. Is that how much? 3rd and 5, right? Did he pick that up? He's at the 42. Need to get the ball to the 47. Didn't look like he made it, but decent, powerful run for a guy with some speed. He looks like he's pretty stocky, but he went down from an ankle tackle right there. So they're saying he picked that up. Okay. Play action again. Don't care about that. 2nd and 6. Okay, this is him in the pass blocking department. Let's see it from this angle. See how he gets into it. Yeah, he's not. It was not much he could do with this big D tackle. He just kind of just put his arms out. I just wanted to see you hit the guy. I mean, he's already getting blocked by one person. If you just hit the guy instead of just like trying to push him, you probably, probably get the guy going back a little bit. 3rd and 6, quarterback goes nowhere. Should have pitched that one off. Again, 157-yard game. Let's see some stuff start to happen here. Let's see some stuff start to happen. Handoff. There we go. There we go. Nice run. Again, like I said, for anybody just joining, this is Sean Tucker, running back out of Syracuse. He's got some decent vision. I haven't seen a hole there yet that he hasn't gotten into. Whatever you want to take from that, you can take from it. What is this? 4th and 18. They're going for it. Handoff. I don't know what's going on there. I think they got that wrong. Maybe that's 1st and 10. Yeah. Maybe that was 4th and 1, and I just read that wrong or something. Anyway, Sean Tucker, new set of downs. Let's see if he gets to take a handoff right here. That time he went out for a route. Let's see. I mean, not really good as far as the pass blocking goes right here. Let's see it. Missed the initial spot where the rusher was coming from, and was out of position and just couldn't really do anything with that 300 something pound guy. Ran his quarterback down. 4th and 5. Let's see if he can go out for a route. Okay. Okay, he's gone. Is he gone? Or is he going to get caught? Now, I don't think he's as fast as I don't know. That's pretty fast. That's pretty fast to be up in the open field and make somebody miss and still accelerate with space. Let's see. Got to the edge pretty quick. Had a block. Yeah, the guy had an angle. I don't know how fast he is. It looked like he kind of got tired there, but really nice run. Definitely. All right. Let's see what's next. They're going to give it right back to him. Give it right back to him. That was a stupid play. Let's see if we can get one more splash play. This tape is 37 minutes long, and it's just the quarterback play is frustrating to watch so far. Handoff, nice contact balance, pretty much. He went down right there, but he got some extra yards. So far, what I'm seeing is I don't really see him being used as a receiver. I don't know if he can do it or can't, but he's not being used that much as a receiver. Pass blocking could use a little bit of help, but I think this guy isn't projected to go until like the 4th or 5th round anyway. So, I mean, that stuff doesn't really matter. He'll get better at it. Nothing much there. See if that's another handoff. Yep. Yeah, he's not going anywhere right there. Ran right into the D tackle. I'm guessing that was a pickup of 1st down. Okay, here he is at wide receiver. And they made no effort to get him the ball. Quarterback didn't even think about it. It wasn't. I thought it was because they trust him to run routes at wide receiver, but it looks like they just put him there to throw a screen. Back in the shotgun, handoff. That quarterback stinks. Who that quarterback stinks. I've seen this dude miss like 3 or 4 touchdowns. Uh, just bad play at quarterback. Let's see if we can get some blocking out of this play, or if he ran out for a route. I couldn't tell. Yeah, nothing much for Sean Tucker so far. Trying to find an exciting play. I found a couple, but I think he probably has one more big run in him if he got it to 157. Let's see. This is probably it here. Counter, patience. Okay, and he didn't go out. He didn't go out easy. What I see right here is patience. Didn't just get right upfield. Took what was there. Decent play. So I see the chat is slowing down a little bit here. I'm going to stop it here. But as always, you guys can drop down in the chat if you'd like me to cover a specific person. If you want to see a specific person's game film. But yeah, saw the chat was slowing down, so we can go back into talking a little bit more just general about the Giants. Let's see. We've covered our fair share of Daniel Jones stuff. I mean, it is what it is there with Daniel Jones. Uh, it is what it is there. There's really nothing more we can cover as far as the Daniel Jones thing. But that's what's different about my camera too. My lights went off. But pretty much the Daniel Jones thing is kind of set in stone as far as like he could stay, he could go, he could. We got to wait for that to actually become reality before we can actually talk about something. But the Saquon thing I think is really interesting. And give me a second while I turn my mini studio lights back on. The Saquon thing, like I said, is a lot more interesting. Um, if Saquon leaves, you got to think that really impacts the team. I think he's a leader on this team, even more than I would consider Daniel Jones to be a leader on this team. And I think they both are, but I think Saquon might be the heart and soul of this team. I think they look to that guy as a vet leader, even though he's on his rookie contract. I think they look to him as a guy that's a guy that's on the field, as a guy to follow his example. I think when he's on and he's having a good game and he's, you know, uh, bringing the energy, I think that helps the team out. But besides those things, can you pay this guy 14, 15, $16 million a year? And I'll take a drink of water and I'll let some of you guys start to weigh in on the Saquon thing. But can you pay this guy that much a year? But whole thing with Saquon is like you look at Christian McCaffrey, absolutely invaluable to the 49ers. I think Christian McCaffrey on the 49ers and even C-Mac on the Panthers was worth the 16 million just because when you're catching passes and you're running routes like a wide receiver and you're catching those passes down the field as a wide receiver, it just hits a little bit different because you're a real receiver at that point. So C-Mac 16 million isn't that bad to me, because you got to think, as a running back, I think all running backs pretty much their value caps out at about 11, 12 million. So once you see that, then you say, okay, I can add on a couple of probably about 5 million, because he can argue that he's your number one receiver or your number two receiver or something like that. Now the 49ers have Debo and Ayuk, but he can argue that he's providing some value there. But same thing with Kamara. Alvin Kamara is pretty much a wide receiver. He's pretty much a receiver who can play running back. And it's not that he's a bad running back at all. He's a good running back, a really good running back. But he's also a really, really elite receiver, especially from that running back position and from the slot. So, and even outside. So those guys at 16 million and at 15 million, those are two guys that you say, okay, you can pay them that. The rest of the guys are at 12 million. I think Zeke is at 15 million. I think Kamara might be at 14 million, but I think Zeke is at 15, and no one would ever do that deal again. If you ask Ezekiel Elliott, if you were the Cowboys, would you pay you 15 million a year? Do you think that you've lived up to that? He would say no. So no one would do that deal again. The Todd Gurley deal, I think, was like 14 a year. Nobody would do that deal again. All the rest of those guys are at 12 million, 13 million, and Aaron Jones just took a pay cut. Aaron Jones went from like 13 million or 12.5 million to 12 or something like that. Or he took like $1 million pay cut. So when you're looking at this market, if you want to pay the guy 13.5, that's cool. But I just feel like, yes, Saquon's don't just grow on trees every day. You're not going to find another Saquon Barkley in this draft. And anybody that's saying that is foolish, that there's no difference between Saquon and a fourth round rookie. But if you let Saquon go and you keep Breida and you bring in a vet who's a solid vet, and you also get a rookie in the fourth round, and then you get a guy in the seventh round, I don't think it'll be that bad. I really don't. I think Breida is a decent pass blocker, and I think you will be just fine. I don't think, of course, Barkley is going to make plays that don't need to be that like you don't think could be made. But I think also the running backs that I just showed you on screen, they can make plays that you think shouldn't have been made. And Saquon might do it at a higher level, but if we get a better interior offensive line, then that upgrades how good these wide receivers are. That it upgrades how good these running backs are, which then helps the wide receivers, which then will help Daniel Jones. I think adding on a guard helps the running game and the passing game. I think having Saquon and not being able to add a guard, it helps the running game, yes, but it doesn't help the entirety of the trench. I just want to get as good in the trenches as we possibly can. So that's kind of where I'm at. I would definitely pay Saquon at 12 million. I would do that. I wouldn't see any issue with that. But then it's like, you're paying this guy 12 million. Are we going to the Super Bowl next year? Maybe we go. But if not, next year will be Saquon's, I think, 26th birthday or 27th birthday. Other year will be 28. You got to think at 29, he's going to wind down like every other running back has. So Saquon probably has 2 to 3 more years of prime left. 2 to 3 more years of being Saquon. And then at that point, you're going to have him on you're going to have Saquon pretty much on the back nine of his career, and you're going to be paying him big money. So February 9th, he turned 26, so he's already 26. And again, like I said, he's going to hit 27, going to hit 28. And again, I want to make sure this guy is taken care of. I want to make sure he gets his big deal. But I don't know if it makes sense for his big deal to be with the Giants, because first off, it's going to be tough to build the offensive line that he deserves. If you're paying this dude 14 or 15 million a year, you're going to have to also figure out, like, what is his cap hit going to look like? Are you going to front load it? You probably have to, but that means that you can't do as much this year as you will probably want to. You probably want to go out and get a guy like Tremaine Edmonds or one of those guys. I think that the Giants have it in their plans to get one of these splash free agents. And when I say splash free agents, I mean a guy that's going to cost like 13, 14 million, a guy that you don't want to backload their contract. You want to have that money up front. So you don't want to go out and sign Saquon and sign Daniel Jones to the franchise tag and then sign Saquon. And since his deal is only 4 years or 3 years, his cap hit is going to be high. And if it's not, you have to push back to his cap hit to being what, 15, 16, 18 million in his third and fourth year, and you can't move off of him when he's old, when he's older. So it's tough. So I think they want to go out and get one of those guys, and I think one of those guys, impact players at one of those positions where we're completely devoid of talent at, is very important. I think we need that. I would definitely go to center, and I'm forgetting his name too. I would definitely take him in the first. Torrance doesn't really excite me. I have to watch some more tape on him, but he doesn't really excite me as a pick in the first. I think he's more of a second round guy. I'm not as high on him as other people are. And that's my point. You can do that, but if you do 5 years to get out after 3, that means you have to front load it. Otherwise, you're doing 5 years and you're going to have to backload it. But you could definitely do 5 years and have that set up. I mean, it's possible, but again, like you could also pay a guy 500,000. You could also pay a guy 1 million or 500,000 or 700,000 and him be 60% of the player Saquon is, and you got 2 other guys that are good running backs. Yeah, I take the best player available. Pretty much what Ziup said, Titan Terrell. I would definitely take the best player, and we all heard Jerry Reese and Dave Gettleman say the best player available. But what I would say is, if you look at this draft, the 2 most loaded positions in this draft, I would say, are running back and cornerback. So running back, obviously, and then tight end, of course. Running back and tight end, you're not going to take at 25. Some people want to take Michael Mayer at 25. I think he's a very similar player to what we have, Daniel Bellinger. I think he's a little bit more athletic. I think he's a better receiver, of course, but I think he's just, I mean, I'm not taking a tight end in the first round. So you're not doing that. You're not taking a running back, obviously. So at that point, I think corner is going to be the best value there. I think also interior offensive lineman will be good value there. So I would look to those 2 positions. But if we have a chance to get Jackson Smith and Jigba, or if we have a chance to get Jordan Addison and one of them are there, I'm taking one of those 2. I'm taking one of those 2 100%. And then, of course, if Daniel Jones moves on and he's not here, then I'm packaging the 25th pick, next year's first round pick, this year's second round pick, and probably next year's 4th round pick or this year's 4th round pick. And I'm going up to get CJ Stroud, or I'm going up there to get a guy that I think I feel confident in can be my franchise quarterback. And I'm using that loose template. That's what I think one of these draft sites threw together for the Giants to go up and get CJ Stroud, which is something that I've been saying for a long time, is that if we want to get a quarterback, I think the best quarterback this year is CJ Stroud. I think that's the best guy. And it looks like for some reason he's not considered the best guy by teams. Looks like they like Bryce Wilson, Will Levis. Anthony Richardson is getting talked about as now. Maybe he goes in the top 10. You never know. You never know. Malik Willis last year could have gone in the top 10. People wouldn't have been shocked. But he went in the 3rd round. And I think Anthony Richardson is 6'5", 240. He's a lot more athletically gifted. He's he played at Florida. He didn't play at Liberty. So He's not going to go in the third round, but he's also, it's tough. He could go in the top 10. He could go in the second round. So a lot of crazy stuff there. You say you think it'd be dumb to let DJ walk? I mean, it's all about the money, man. Like if you can get similar production, from from another player that you can get from Daniel Jones, then you get it. I mean, at a much lesser price. Like yes, okay. So a lot of people are looking at it like this. They're saying no rookie quarterback in this draft is going to be as good as Daniel Jones. First of all, you don't know that. First off, you don't know that. Second of all, they don't have to be as good as Daniel Jones because you're going to pay Daniel Jones for $45 million if he wants that. You're going to pay him $45 million, and you're going to pay this rookie $8 million. So you're saving $40 million to get 80% of the production if you think that they won't be able to go out and put up 22 touchdowns total and 3,800 yards. So if that rookie can be 80% of Daniel Jones, then that's a move worth making. It kind of is. It kind of is. But shout out to Go for Jaden for the 199. Jahmyr Gibbs is in the second if we let Saquon Barkley walk. I wouldn't be mad at that. I would want to go a little bit later. I would want to take a running back a little bit later, but I wouldn't be mad if Jahmyr Gibbs. Went to us in the second round because he's definitely worth that pick. I wouldn't be mad at that. I'm fine with the rookie quarterback if it isn't Hendon Hooker. Yeah, I don't blame you, man. I mean, I'm not that high on Hendon Hooker either. He's a solid player. He's got a little room to grow too, but it's just something about Hendon Hooker that doesn't move the needle for me. Now, CJ Stroud, he moves the needle for me. Anthony Richardson, just him athletically, him running the ball year one, he might run for 1,000 yards. He might need some development as a passer, but as a runner in this system, the way that Daniel Jones was able to run for 700 yards, and this doesn't dismiss the athlete that Daniel Jones is, but Daniel Jones is not as athletic as Anthony Richardson and not the runner, the open field dynamic runner that Anthony Richardson is much better. So he might run for 1,200 yards as a rookie because that's going to come out. That's going to come into the NFL with him ready to go, the running ability. Same thing with Justin Fields. He might run for 1,200 yards in this offense just because of the open field ability. Like all the times where Daniel Jones took off and he had to make one guy miss and he couldn't because that's just not his game. These guys make 3, 4, 5 people miss. So that would be a movie if we had one of those guys back there. That's just what I believe. Trenton Simpson and Drew Sanders. I put out a Drew Sanders video, but I haven't put out my Trenton Simpson video. I don't think Trenton Simpson is a guy that I would take before the third round. Trenton Simpson does not move well side to side for me. He's not a guy that I think is going to be a good coverage linebacker, even though they're touting him as this all-world coverage backer. And even if he was, he just does not read the field well, doesn't go sideline to sideline well. When he's caught out of position, he's not able to recover and get back into position. I'm not a fan of Trenton Simpson before day 3. I'm not. And he's looked at as the top player at linebacker, and I just don't see it. And that's just my take. I could be wrong. Letting DJ walk for anything over 38. Exactly what I'm saying. I think once you get to 38, sure. If DJ wants to go to 38, the continuity's there, the familiarity's there, whatever. Let's do it. Give him 5 years, 38. You can stretch it out. You can still sign people. But once you get to 40, once you get to 39 even, and like I said, it's not you're walking away over $1 million. It's you're walking away at your walk-away number, which Joe Shane has expressed that he has a walk-away number for every free agent. He's already written that down. So once you get to 39 million, once you get to 38.1 million, that's when I got to walk away. You can go and try to get 40 million from the Commanders. Hopefully they pay you that. You can try to go get 40 million from the Saints. They have no cap space. You can try to go get 40 million from all these teams that have no cap space. and you're probably going to end up coming back here taking less than what they probably initially offered you, because I just don't think teams are in a position where they want to pay him that much. Now, I could be wrong, but we'll see. We'll see. But again, if he leaves, I think that this coaching staff is going to be able to get similar, if not better, if not a little bit worse. When I say similar, it doesn't mean better. It means just listen, similar production out of either a rookie quarterback or a low cost vet quarterback. That's not me saying that we win 9 games, because I'm not sure that we win 9 games next year with Daniel Jones with the way that the schedule looks. But it is me saying that I think that it's possible for somebody to come in here and put up 22 touchdowns and 3,900 yards. I just think that's very possible. Now, the thing that Daniel Jones does at a high level that makes me say bring the guy back, or at least this past year, is the turnovers were very minimal. So if he wants to come back at 38 or less, I'm welcoming him back. If not, I think it's best to move on. Anthony Richardson could sit for a year, but they could also design an offense that's so tailored to him running the ball that you don't expect him to throw it that much. And it could be like Jalen Hurts, where he's out there just running around and throwing the wide open guys and throwing short passes, and people are saying Jalen Hurts can't throw. Jalen Hurts is a running back, but guess what? Jalen Hurts don't look like a running back now. So sometimes you just got to let the guy get out there, develop on his own, develop slowly or develop quickly or whatever you want to do. And in year 2, year 3, year 4, all of a sudden, he's ready to go. I wouldn't be mad. I think if we tag Daniel Jones, I think the Giants, they probably come out of the first 3 rounds with a quarterback that they think they can build with. And if Daniel Jones doesn't get benched during the season, and you don't see that quarterback play as a rookie, I think they still would take one next year. Yeah, I mean it's going to be soon, but that's my number 38. That's my number 38. All right. See, we got anything else here? But yeah, my walkaway is 38. Um, Anything over that, man, is just it's just not worth it. Well, yeah, I mean that's the risk you take with the tag. If you tag Daniel Jones and he goes off or he throws 35 touchdowns, 40 touchdowns, I have no problem. If you tag Daniel Jones and he throws for 35, throws for 4,500 yards, takes us to the playoffs, looks like that guy has, a bunch of 300-yard games, is moving this offense, making explosive plays, is really stepping up being that type of quarterback where you're like, okay, every time he steps on the field, he's giving us a chance to win. And it's not that every time he steps on the field, we probably have a chance to win. It's every time we step on the field, we feel like we're going to win because we have Daniel Jones. If we start to feel that, listen, open check. If the cap goes up next year and the contract per year is 60 million, pay the guy 60 million. Pay the guy 60 million. If he is that guy, you pay him. And you don't think twice about it. You don't even care about that money. That money is, you don't even care about it. You'll figure it out. And you can push that money back over and over and over again with no repercussion. You can literally push that money back with no repercussions, because it makes no sense to pay a guy that you're not that sure about a bunch of money. But once you get that sure about it, about that quarterback, you can pay him whatever. You can literally pay him whatever. Drew Sanders. Drew Sanders is I'll get to that hot take, Zachary. But Drew Sanders is probably my linebacker, what, 2? Linebacker 3, maybe? Maybe. What do we got? Trenton Simpson. We got Um, Henley is my favorite linebacker in this draft. Let me look up NFL linebacker prospects. There was another guy. Let's see. Henley is my number one linebacker. Um, Jack Campbell would probably be my second linebacker, and then Drew Sanders would be my third one. So those are my top three. The other guys to me are kind of just not on their level. I think Henley has the most potential. I think Jack Campbell is the safest, and I think he can cover, and I think he can run and hit. Um, yeah, Daniel Jones hasn't. We're not going to see any legit 100% legit reports. We're just not going to see it. So um, we're just not going to see it. So anything you see that says Daniel Jones has asked for this, it's all speculation. It could be from a legit source, but there's no way for us to verify that it's from a legit source. And then there's no way for us to verify that legit source isn't making it up because for the sake of negotiation. So what we're hearing all day, all night, is that he's definitely still asking for more than 40 million, even though they said that the 45 million was a lie. Then somebody came out and said, "Hey, the 45 million isn't a lie." So we don't know what's going on. But if he's asking for that much money, I mean, I think you just let the dude walk. Go trade for Justin Fields. Go get Anthony Richardson. Go get one of these guys and pay them literally. And this isn't an indictment on Daniel Jones, guys. This is literally saying you can save $40 million. You can save $35 million. You can save $30 million and have a guy that's going to put up similar production. The biggest part about Daniel Jones's game, the thing that made him the most, the thing that made Daniel Jones a headache for defenses on a weekly basis, that the 49ers defensive coordinator, not the 49ers, the Vikings defensive coordinator and the Vikings head coach raved about with Daniel Jones is his legs. And guys started to game plan for his legs and they still couldn't stop him. And that was the biggest thing. It's the legs, it's the not turning the ball over, it's the getting the ball out quick at times. But I would think the biggest two things are the legs and not turning the ball over. Those two things, by far, it, that's really what does it. That's what does it. So if you get a Justin Fields, excuse me, didn't Justin Fields run for almost 1,000 yards last year? Didn't he run for like 1,000,000 yards last year? Let's see. Justin Fields ran for literally, let's see, 1,039 rushing yards. Let's see. I got to pull it up because you can't tell me that the running from Justin Fields and the running from Anthony Richardson wouldn't translate to it. Just you just can't tell me that. You can't tell me that wouldn't translate to our offense. 1,143 yards and 8 touchdowns running the ball. That seems pretty good to me. That seems pretty good to me. Zach, I don't care what the asking price is. I mean, of course I care. I mean, obviously we're not going to give up something ridiculous. But if the Chicago Bears are trying to go out after Bryce Young, they lost leverage there. They're going after Bryce Young. So if we want to go up and get Justin Fields, I'm willing to give up the same package that I would give up for CJ Stroud, even though I like CJ Stroud a little bit better. But I'm willing to give up a similar package because I think that him running in this offense and his ability to throw the ball and have a huge arm, I think him and this offense is scary. So I give up a first, a third, I give up a first, a second, and a fifth. I'd do something like that. I would give up a decent amount for Justin Fields because again, the guy just ran for 1,100 yards. 1,100 yards. He had no receivers. the game where he ran against where they went against the Eagles, it really put a lot on tape for me where I was like, okay, Justin Fields is a guy. He may not be all the way there throwing the ball yet, but he's a guy. 17 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. Guess what, guys? Had a bunch of interceptions. He also had 9 fumbles lost. So 20 turnovers. But he also was able to put up 17 touchdowns passing and 8 rushing. So they were able to clean up turnovers or help. Daniel Jones already was on the path of turning the ball over less and less and less, but they helped him even more because he had pretty much a one of the better seasons I've ever seen with turning the ball over. If they can help out Justin Fields where he turns the ball over 10 times instead of 20 times, and they give him better receiver talent where he throws for 24 touchdowns instead of 17, and then he runs for his 8, guess what? We're plus 10, plus 11 in the touchdown category. And that's the thing. I mean, every quarterback is going to need a good supporting cast. But my thing is, if we can get, legitimately, if we can get 3,000 yards, 16 passing touchdowns, 700 rushing yards, 7 rushing touchdowns, if we can get that from Justin Fields, which I believe is very realistic to ask, if we can get that from him, why not do it? Why not do it and pay him $8 million? What's Justin Fields' cap hit? I want to look at Spot Rack to see what his cap hit will be, because I don't even think we're responsible for the full cap hit. Maybe we are, but let's pull this up. I know it's a lot less than 45 million. Justin Fields' cap hit for 2023 is $5 million. We also have a 5th-year option. We also got a 5th-year option. So you get Justin Fields on a 3-year deal, and you see what you got. I think that's a decent trade. I do it. As far as CJ Stroud, same thing. You get him for 4 years, then you get a rookie option, 5th-year option, and that's what I'm saying. I think keeping Saquon helps out the new quarterback, if there's a new quarterback. Now, if we bring back Daniel Jones, I don't need Daniel Jones to have a superstar running back. I need Daniel Jones to have an offensive line and wide receivers. Like, I don't need him to have a running back. I need him to have an offensive line and receivers. And that's what I'm saying. Like, Nova, this is the point that you're making. Like, we can't say Daniel Jones just needs an offensive line. He just needs this. He just needs that. You pay a guy $45 million. You're telling him, and he's telling you, listen, we can't afford to go out and get you a great team around you. So you're going to have to make all of these players better. So he's got to do that. He's got to make all of these players better, because if he doesn't, then you're looking at a quarterback that's throwing for 15 touchdowns in a season and running for about 5 or 6 more. You're looking at paying that dude $45 million. He's going to have cap hits where he's at like $65 million probably, or $50 million. You're going to have to pay that dude $60 million in a year where he may throw for 15 touchdowns. That is inexcusable. Inexcusable. And like the analogy I made earlier today, if you have a salesman that's getting sabotaged and they don't make any sales, he's not going to ask for a raise. It's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. But that's where I'm at with Daniel Jones. If he wants to come back for 38, wants to come back for 33, wants to come back for 35, I'm all for it. 100%. 100%. But if there's a new quarterback, I'm kind of excited with the new staff, with the new GM, to see what they want to build. If he's back, then he's part of their picture, and I'm excited about that. If he's not part of their picture, and I'm excited about that. But we're at 1:58, hour and 58 minutes. I think I'm going to get out of here to start to look for some food. Pulling up on 5 o'clock. But yeah, that's how I feel about the Daniel Jones thing. Real simple. If they decide to keep him, I'm all for it. If they pay him 45 million, it's because they have a plan. They better have a plan for what